Hey guys, it is Last Brohican
Luxboo.
and Game Gamut is once again coming at you with another episode of Let's Discuss. Now, this time around, we are coming at you hot and ready for the game called No Man's Sky. Now, this game is been highly anticipated. It is a multi-platform exploration game that was developed and published by Hello Games. Hello Games was started and founded by Sean Murray, who originally worked on EA doing game development, but then he wanted out of the corporate life and teamed up with David Ream to create Hello Games. They've come out with a few other games since they've started, but the biggest one to date for them right now is definitely No Man's Sky. Now, No Man's Sky is the exploration game that all of us probably have dreamed about. It's kind of the astronaut type game that everyone's like, you know what? This is what I really want at the end of the day. And let me tell you, these guys are doing that. Now, what we're looking at for No Man's Sky is what seems to be a multiplayer game, but we're not quite sure as to whether or not it's going to be an MMO where you're going to be able to interact with people on a very large scale basis. From what we've gathered thus far, there are a lot of online features in terms of sharing details of the different planets you'll come across and what kind of creatures are on them, what's the atmosphere like, is there oceans or deserts, so you can share that with other people, but we aren't quite sure. We haven't seen enough information yet as to how deep that can really go with playing with other people. Now, they did also state, though, Hello Games did also state that there will be online and offline features. So this game has a lot of potential. It's still really far out, so they have plenty of time to make and mold this game as to how it really should be. But I'm going to let Luxboo here kind of talk about some of the content that's really going to be coming along with the game.
This game sounds really exciting. The gameplay is going to feature planetary exploration, deep oceans, even space-based battles. You can gather resources and fight potential predators on various procedurally generated worlds. And what I mean by that is Sean Murray and his team were able to essentially, with only using 1,400 lines of code, randomly generate everything in this universe that we will be exploring later in 2015. Each world has its own ecosystem. They have potentially unforgiving conditions, like desert worlds with large carnivorous worms. Players are initially given an uncharted universe to explore, and kind of going back to the MMO thing, information about any planet that you explore and all of its characteristics and life forms can be shared with others. Whether that means the location of the planet, or it's kind of going to the sharing of content, or if it's going to be kind of like, hey, I'm pinging my planet, come visit it. That is still yet to be seen. The larger goal of the game is kind of like similar to Spore. You're supposed to reach the center of the galaxy. And what makes this game sound worth every penny is the fact that it was stated that it will take 40 to 100 hours of gameplay straight up without doing anything, any side exploration, not doing any unnecessary side missions to reach the center of the galaxy and beat the game.
Now, going off of what Luxboo just said right there in terms of the planets, now, this is, I think, a huge selling point. Do you agree, Luxboo, about the kind of planets that they're going to be making?
Oh, absolutely.
It's, with what Luxboo said, that 1,400 lines of codes, they are able to make quintillions of randomly generated worlds. That would, to give you a brief idea of how big quintillion is, if for every penny, that would be more than the Empire State Building and the World Series Tower by 1,000%. It's 10 to the 18th power. Can you imagine the amount of randomly generated worlds that means? Like, you could explore forever. You could go on for forever looking at new worlds, different worlds that are all unique. Now, what's also very interesting about this, and something I would love to see actually in action, is that this is not a static world. This means that these worlds, or this is not a static universe. What I mean is that once you come to a planet, it is being rendered as soon as you arrive there, meaning that it didn't technically exist before you got there. So they are making planets on the spot when you fly to them. Now that's a huge innovation in terms of delivering the player new content. I mean, the fact that nothing is permanent, nothing is existent in the game is crazy cool, and I think can really deliver a huge and unique experience for those playing it. Now, once you get to these planets, you have to collect information on what the planet is, but then you can also look at things how creatures are unique, the resources are unique to the planet, different features are, like, it's not just like a terrain planet, like, there's oceans, there's deserts, as Luxbu said, there's all these things you can do. Now, there's also certain things that you want to do when you interact with these planets, and I'm going to let Luxbu expand on that real quick.
Absolutely, I can. One thing I wanted to briefly mention, going with what you had just said, one thing that just really blows my mind is the fact that these randomly generated worlds and all these randomly generated fauna and creatures, it's all done on algorithms. There's not a set script that says, hey, we're going to put this here. It's all been randomly generated with the use of algorithms, which I think is pretty fantastic. It goes as high as seeing massive creatures roaming the planet to even within the oceans. There are fish swimming in the oceans. What you can do with that, you can collect all these different materials from planets. You can trade them. You can upgrade your spacecrafts. You can enable your spacecrafts to have hyperdrive, so you can go in between all these different solar systems and collect one resource at one planet and then bring it over to another solar system and trade and upgrade all of your spacecrafts. You can then engage in massive space battles and get into your Star Wars groove. I can't wait for this game.
Yeah.
Really cannot wait for this game.
I think this game has a lot to offer. So, just to wrap up the video, Luxbu, would you kindly kind of give your face value opinion of the game and what you think it might be?
I think this game is completely innovative, and I'm just excited to explore. That's what I love to do. I want to explore this thing. The one thing that really, really, really draws me to the game, though, do you want to know what that is?
What is that? What is that?
Dinosaurs. There are freaking dinosaurs in this game, man. I cannot wait. I can go from one planet and see this giant T-Rex, go to another planet and see some other dinosaurs. I can't wait. Absolutely cannot wait to see all the different kind of randomly generated creatures that are out there. And honestly, I kind of hope that maybe I can build a ship and then capture some creatures from one planet, bring them to another, and kind of see how they survive.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be
an
really cool.
interesting thing to see if they implement.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm very excited to see how this game turns out. Obviously, every game looks super good before release. I think that's something that, it's basically required of the developers nowadays. So I'm really curious to see how it actually gets executed. But barring that, I'm really curious to see how far they expand the crafting and trading systems. Because honestly, in terms of space fighting, there are plenty of games out there, plenty of like heavy hitter games that do it well enough. I'm really curious to see how they can expand on some of the other parts of it, with the crafting and the trading. I think could be a lot done there that can really make this game super unique.
They might need to implement another 100 lines of code, though, for that.
God forbid.
Bump it up to 1,500 lines of code. Come on.
But so, in case you guys are wondering when this game's coming out, or what systems this game is coming out for, it's coming out for the PS4 and then to the PC. Now, they gave a tentative 2015 release date for the PS4, have not said anything about the PC. That one they said it will be later. So a little bit of a bummer on that for us of the PC master race. But you know what? I think, good comes to those who wait. So I'm very eager to see how this game develops in the future.
Yes, me too.
So, as always, guys, this is Last Mohican and
Luxbu.
And as always, happy gaming, gamers.
Hey guys, Last Mohican here, and if you like what you saw, please hit the like button below and let us know if you want to see more. If you're new to the channel, please also hit that subscribe button. We love hearing from you guys. We know we'd love to see you around more. Thanks. Bye-bye.